Well, certainly, Bobby, you know as well as anybody the aggression, the physicality, the competitive nature of young Damian Chambers, because just a month ago, he and Jay Christ and the Eyes of Many stole the show with their matchup.
Damian Chambers is his own biggest fan. The talent is unparalleled, but the ego is even bigger on this guy. He's put his hands on me, of all people.
Well, not saying it was right, but I think he could justify it in his own mind, say you were in the way of what he wanted. That was that Revolver Championship.
He didn't keep up for that one, my friend.
Jake Christ proudly defending that title from Dayton to Iowa and all points in between. But Chambers, another test here tonight in the form of another Midwest standout native. Eli Isom, the Infinite One. I know Eli the best from back in the Ring of Honor Sinclair days, Future of Honor, when he teamed with Ryan Mooney and Cheeseburger as part of the Shinobi Shadow Squad. But since then, Eli has really leveled up in a big way, not just competing in the current version of Ring of Honor, but also touring the world, Germany for WXW, time in Mexico, training with the likes of Bandito, Famita, Skida. Eli has really immersed himself in different styles and become a student of the game.
And they love him here in Hamilton. Damian Chambers may have bitten off more than he can chew this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for what fall? It has a 20-minute time limit. Your referee, Peyton Owen. Introducing first to my left, he hails from Columbus, Ohio, Damian Chambers. And his opponent to my right, he hails from Rensselaer, Indiana. He is Infinite Eli Isom.
Well, you want to know how dedicated, how much of a road warrior Eli Isom is. He splits his time between here in the Midwest, grew up on a farm in Rensselaer, Indiana once upon a time, back to those humble beginnings, back to that Midwest circuit. But he's also splitting his time between here and Philadelphia, where he still helps out Cheeseburger as an assistant trainer at the Worldwide Dojo in Bristol, Pennsylvania. So Isom is kind of getting the best of both worlds here, East Coast and Midwest.
And that's what you got to do, blend those styles. His accolades speak for themselves. He doesn't need me bragging on him, but he's Damian Chambers coming in already trying to,
I remember in my time in Ring of Honor, Eli and 3S were undefeated for a number of months on the Future of Honor YouTube series. Eli scored victories over Christopher Daniels and I believe Shane Taylor as well. So Eli was really coming into his own, and I think you could suggest that Eli was one of the biggest victims from a timing standpoint of Ring of Honor going dark for the time that it did.
Right at the cusp, but he's definitely rebuilding himself, the brand. Not that it needs rebuilt, but he's definitely making a name for himself out here.
Well, then you look at Damian Chambers as a man who lives by the mantra, the world only makes sense if you force it to, and that tells me Damian Chambers is not going to wait for an opportunity. He's going to take a spot.
He's going to take it. He's going to steal it. Anything he can do. Chambers is one. He's down, he's dirty, he's devious, but he's a hell of a wrestler on top of it, and that's dangerous. He's got all the skill and potential in the world. There it is, there's that word, potential.
Eli Isom is building a legacy that he wants to stand the test of time. Long after he is no longer here in the physical form, that speaks to that moniker of infinite that Eli has been going by as motivation. Paddle, counter, roll, but Chambers put the brakes on, and a straight right cross just rocked Eli Isom.
That'll put your brakes on quick. And wasting time, John, with the referee. That's one of those mistakes of youth, would you call it?
Bobby, what was the most difficult part of scouting Damian Chambers? What part of his arsenal were you most intimidated by?
Intimidated? I don't know if that's the right word. It's that devious, that mean streak. That's what... The technicality, Jake can handle anything. It's the unknown when he snaps, when he gets desperate. that he'll pull for any straws, and that's what you got to watch out for. A desperate Chambers is a dangerous Chambers.
Well, I understand that's how he's been at Wrestling Revolver down in Iowa, as well as here in TSW as well, making his own opportunities, making some noise, looking to make a victory with Isom, but Isom the sunset flip, only a count of 1 that time. An incredible vertical leap. Isom, I think, caught him right in the butt of the jaw.
And a beautiful scoop slam. And the other thing with Chambers is that tenacity. He doesn't care who it is. He's going to call anybody out.
Yeah.
I've seen him call out Tommy Dreamer, John Mike. He doesn't.
2 count only.
He doesn't mind.
No. Well, I mean, he knows you got to rustle up the apple cart a little bit. You got to break a few eggs to make that omelet, and nobody's going to notice you unless you're making noise, and Chambers wants to be the loudest man in the room.
He's going to force it to make sense, I guess, is what we're learning out of this young man.
Eli Isom trying to force his hand on Chambers. Isom is in the best shape I've ever seen him in. He's cut weight in the right places. He's added size in the right places. And to that point, though, Chambers takes out that vertical base.
That's exactly right. You can't do anything if you can't stand up, and Chambers knows that. And now he smells blood in the water.
Chambers, the more methodical of these two athletes. I think Chambers may take some sort of a sinister delight in watching his opponent suffer. What are your thoughts on that?
I've seen it firsthand. I felt it firsthand. He loves pain. He loves inflicting pain. Crowd all over Damian Chambers.
And Chambers.
Back door.
Caught the back elbow. Did Chambers to counter. Chambers feeling like the away team here. A hot shot and a chop block. Down to the knee.
Right back on that leg. Like you said about the vertical base, and Chambers knows it.
That affects the power game of Eli. It affects his agility, his speed, really the basis of much of his offense.
And a guy like Chambers, it's like a cat with a mouse. Once he has that one spot, he's just going to keep picking and keep picking.
Well, the way these fans are responding to Chambers, you would never know that he was from other Columbus, Ohio, as Frankie Williams would say once upon a time.
Not a fan of let's not go there, but Chambers,
not necessarily the pride of Ohio like a Jay Crisp would be, is he?
Exactly. No, he's more of the backside of Ohio.
I see.
You see what I mean?
Well, with the way he acts sometimes, I can understand that analysis. But you can't take away from what he can do between those ropes.
Without question. Any given time, that man can pull a victory out.
Got the elbow up. Textbook suplex.
Showing what you said earlier, it's that slow, methodical when it comes to Chambers.
One thing I like about the Chambers cover, he had wrist control of Eli Isom. Tried to keep Isom at bay any way he could. Trapping the more appendages gives Isom less means of escape.
I don't like how this is turning out for Isom. I know he's got it in him, but Chambers is just vicious right now.
Well, Chambers is here to make a statement. Chambers is here with victory on his mind. We saw Isom make his debut in that three-way matchup back in the month of July, also involving Storm Grayson and the eventual winner, Matt Diesel, who we'll see a little bit later on here tonight.
Another talented up-and-comer, Matt Diesel. I'm looking forward to his match.
I'm a big fan of Matt Diesel, without question. But right now, Damian Chambers trying to make sure all these fans have no choice but to become Damian Chambers fans.
Going for the hair. See, this is unnecessary. He's all over the man's hair.
Those long locks of Isom being used against him. Oh, wait a minute. Duck underneath. Isom. Release overhead throw. Nicely done. Isom pops the hips and could be the difference maker.
That knee joke's still bothering him. The crowd can will him back into this. I think Chambers might be a little surprised. He thought he had him picked right there.
Referee, the obligatory 10 count, but both men to their feet with more than enough time to continue the fight. It's Isom stringing the offense together, shrugging off the pain in the knee. Isom twisting around with the back suplex. Will that be all? No.
So close, so close.
Isom is at his best when he can be rapid and explosive like that. There's no way to scout for when Isom gets into those spurts of offense.
Now, a man like that, you can't scout those kind of things. That's purely a feel, a moment. He's got to get that vertical base back upright right now, though. He's feeling it.
And even if you do scout it, by the time you realize what's happening, it's too late.
It's too late. He's got you.
Isom, now does the knee have the strength to get the fireman's carry?
That might be. It's taking longer than it should have.
Oh, that is incredible, Pat's quad strength right there.
Look at that.
Chambers elbow to the side of the jaw. Went for the knee one more time, but Isom had it scouted. Oh,
Nope.
Isom rolls through, shoulders down for two.
Near fall. That explosiveness of Isom.
Oh, Chambers is trying to match Isom's own game here, trying to use his quickness. Eli used the good leg to spring off. Great strategy. The shoulder thrust.
Up this time.
Air raid crash connects. Is it enough?
Got it. 2.
No.
So close.
Bobby, a match like this just further demonstrates how evenly matched the competition is up and down the roster here at TSW.
And Trey Lamar sitting on top of the mountain right now. That's some underhanded tactics out of that gentleman as well.
But will he be by the end of the night? His Canadian tour could have a very, very sour taste in his mouth by the time he gets there. But Eli Isom now trying to hit some feeling back into that knee. Shrug off that pain. Is this ill-advised for Isom?
Chambers up. Oh. Chambers caught him.
And Chambers has Isom where he wants him. Eli made a mistake going high risk this late in the matchup with a damaged knee.
They're still fighting Isom.
Oh, without question. Isom pushes Chambers off.
Shaking that leg. He's getting set.
Can he get his balance?
Oh.
Roll through, protected that knee with the thrust kick. Oh, Chambers is so heavy-handed. And Chambers at ushigoroshi, a Chambers specialty, but
let him up.
Great transition into the half Boston crowd, and Chambers has that in deep. There's no air between Chambers' body and Eli's.
Just to wrench him back. Isom's got to get to one of those ropes, or this one's over with. Wrenching up.
Yeah, notice Chambers now, he's leaning forward to put more pressure on that knee as opposed to the lower back.
He knows where the damage is.
Eli's reaching.
So close.
Eli's got there. Out, Chambers risking disqualification.
He's working every minute of that 5 count.
Ironically, I think it was Chambers' focus on that knee that enabled Eli a chance to bridge up and get to those ropes, because Chambers was not sitting back as deeply as he was. We saw earlier with Jake, and how he sits out with that sharpshooter to get that submission very low to the ground. Chambers had it for a moment, but shifted his focus.
He took his eye off the prize and was more worried about hurting the man than winning the match.
Well, that seems right up the wheelhouse of Damian Chambers, doesn't it? Clubbing blows, Eli not even in the ring to defend himself.
Constant cheap shots from this young man.
Well, Chambers, I think, every time we see him, feels he has something to prove. An axe to grind with the world, and a near fall as Eli kicks out of a, admittedly, very lax pinning attempt.
Yeah, you're not going to beat a guy like Eli with a lackadaisical cover. Is he letting the crowd get to him is what I'm wondering here. Constantly jaw-jacking with the great fans.
There's a lot of words I could use to describe Mr. Chambers. Patient and understanding is not two of them.
No, jerk. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We didn't want
to if he watches this back, my nose is clean, so you just be careful how far you get in that particular line of thought.
I tend to stand behind Jake. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. So
well,
a little safety.
Hey, Chambers is a threat to that Revolver championship and the long-standing tenure Jake has as maybe the most popular athlete in Revolver, so just keep that in mind.
Without question.
Firing away his Chambers, but oh, look at Isom.
He's not done.
Yeah, Isom can feel it. But do you want to exchange strikes with Damian Chambers?
That's a, well, the strength. Oh, knife edge chops back and forth. Well, Isom's feeling it.
Isom firing himself up.
The adrenaline flowing. That kick was a little low, if you ask me.
That could have been. Oh.
No.
Chambers swung high. Eli slipped underneath and almost beat him. Both men jockeying for position. Center ring. Both men need to close here. Who's going to finish this?
Chambers up.
It's leverage. It's a battle of weight positioning at this point. And Eli and Chambers
just rolling.
Yeah.
It's anybody's game at this point. Referee better get out of the way.
Referee's got the best seat in the house to look for two shoulders trapped. As long as they're with the same body, and Chambers did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Damian Chambers.
Chambers got the victory, and it quite literally came down, Bobby, to a game of inches.
Right place, right time on that exchange. But Chambers pulled it out. And what I got to term a mild upset here, and maybe not. Chambers is definitely on fire.
Well, Damian Chambers has scored his first win here at TSW after a hell of a match a month ago. He's been making waves everywhere he goes here in pro wrestling. I don't think Damian Chambers would have been content to leave this ring until he got this win and made this statement in front of everybody here in Hamilton. Chambers, the win. Eli, hope there's no long-term damage to the knee.